Cafe. It's Café Anyway. That's right. Welcome to the show called Café Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Actually, it's called Mike's Daily Podcast. I'm Mike Matthews. But we're at Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcaster Valley, the last place on earth. We had a lot of rain. It was great.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Except for all the flooding and stuff. So I guess it's Mike Matthews singing. And if you know, I'm going to be I'll be here telling you all the stuff you need to know in this world where things can go crazy. But let's take a look at some interesting stuff you probably didn't hear in the news.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
But I'm pulling it from the news. But maybe it was that part of the news you didn't hear. So someone was shouting at you.
Daily
or you got the ADHD.
Podcast.
That's all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Someone's drowning out things when you're trying to talk. They're trying to drown you out. I can't stand that. I'm trying to say something and people are blah, 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 blah. And I can't say anything because of them being so loud. They're interrupting me. People are so rude these days. It's something, I don't know. I got the cat near me here. What do you think about all this, cat? Oh, he walked away. See, and cats are rude, just by definition, so they just go and they do whatever they want. They'll scratch up your couch because they're cats. All right, hey, you know what? The New York Post did for us? Thank you, New York Post. They brought together for us all of the best and the worst moments of the Grammys. I did not get to watch them, like many a radio host or podcast host. I did not get to. And here's the interesting thing. It took only 56 years after her debut album in 1968. Yes, yours truly I was born in that year. It was an album called Song to a Seagull. And I like seagulls for the most part. If they're not leaving a stain on my wonderful shirt. Come here, Rocky the cat. Sit on my lap.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Whilst I podcast. The podcast picture, it's not going to be of you, Rocky. It'll be of something interesting that happened recently. See it at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Folk goddess Joni Mitchell finally made her long overdue Grammy debut, playing at the award ceremony Sunday evening. I suddenly got into a huge Joni Mitchell remembrance moment. Oh, the late great Basil the Boxer. He liked Joni Mitchell too. But it's a particular album that I like, and you probably have never heard it. I know Basil the Boxer heard it because I played it quite a few times. It's an album called Night Ride Home. And that's probably the wrong name. Now that I'm thinking about it. But I love that album so much. In fact, if you go to MikesDailyPodcast.com, I got this section down at the bottom of the website that is basically a mini radio station, but I'm just playing a YouTube playlist. And it is called Best Obscure Rock Found by Mike Matthews. So that is one of the songs, is by Joni Mitchell. And I'm just scrolling over, and Night Ride Home. Yeah, that's right. Okay, good. Now everything's fine that I remember that. Okay, now I'm going to close YouTube because it's awful. The only thing more toxic is TikTok. It should be called Toxic Talk. Hey, TikToxic. Hey, that works a little bit better. If you're still scratching your head about how it is even possible that Joni freaking Mitchell, who represents all that is musical excellence, had never performed on music's biggest night, you certainly wouldn't be the only one. After the 80-year-old icon had won her 10th gramophone for Best Folk Album with her Joni Mitchell at Newport Live album that came out last year, she took the stage at the arena, which is whatever, named after some stupid thing that I don't even want to mention because it's going to make a lot of people poor. It's going to make young people poor. They'll be incredibly rich maybe for a second, and then they'll be really poor because they won't know what they're doing. And then a lot of them, sadly, will take their own lives, because that has happened in the past. So I'm not going to name this product that sponsors the arena. But in any way, Café Anyway. So there was a moment there. Joni Mitchell sang Both Sides Now from 1969. Yes, that song is older than me. No one who witnessed it will soon forget a Mitchell tapping her cane from her throne of a chair as if to keep time with the rhythm of her soul. It was a performance, a moment that will go down in Grammy history, says the New York Post. So much so that it is overshadowed every other moment. It overshadowed every other moment on what was easily one of the best Grammys in recent history. In fact, the viewership of the Grammys went up something like 30% over last year. This article says, including when Taylor Swift, one of Mitchell's modern-day descendants, made history as the first artist to win Album of the Year 4 times for her 2022 blockbuster Midnights. Fittingly, the whole night was ruled by generations of women whose minds and musical visions were set free by godmother Joni. Folk goddess Joni Mitchell won Evening of the Music's Biggest Night from Victoria Monet, the R&B singer songwriter who upset country sensation Jelly Roll for Best New Artist. 10 years after releasing Monet's debut EP, Nightmares and Lullabies Act 1. To Billie Eilish, who won her second Song of the Year for her Barbie ballad, What Was I Made For? Can we talk about that song for a second? Despite the fact it was a big ladies' night at the Grammys, I would like to talk about that song by Billie Eilish. I understand it is Billie Eilish's style to barely sing, to sing in a whisper. It's as if I'm going to sing to you right now.
On the world.
And yes, she's either the smartest person on the planet Earth, as we go outside a Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
Anyway.
The last place on Earth. In the land of Ameritopica, we have so many topics to get to. And in singing in a whisper, in a wisp of a voice, she is basically extending her career out till the age of 80. You remember Joni Mitchell, when she first started, had a very high-end voice, and she now sings much lower, she admits. But in doing so, it has allowed her to sing songs with a depth that these people like Taylor Swift and Billie Eilish can't even attempt to do. But I do not understand that. I know that song has something to do with the movie, and you got to go see the movie, Mike, and it has something to do with the movie. But no. That song is not. It is not. It's okay. It's passable, but not Grammy winning. Oh my gosh. There is still work to be done for some women, especially women of color.
You know, there's a real scary holiday coming up.
People get stuck on stupid, you know what I mean?
That singing in a whisper, that's okay. Some of the time. She always sings at a whisper.
Kathy's Corner.
Kathy's Corner.
Get stirred up. When it's just one type all the way, all the time. When Jay-Z accepted the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award with daughter Blue Ivy, yes, the daughter with Beyonce, he took the opportunity to call out the Recording Academy for never awarding his wife with Album of the Year, not even for Renaissance last year. Think about that, he said. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work.
Woo!
And at that point, I probably would have turned off okay, come on.
Magnification.
MTV News. You hear it first.
One of the biggest recording artists of all time. Between you and your wife, you've just basically taken over the entire music world. But although Mitchell was impossible to beat, here are some of the other best and worst moments from the biggest night. Tracy Chapman and Luke Combs all the feels and chills when Tracy Chapman took the stage to start off Fast Car with country sensation Luke Combs, 26 years after the folk pop singer released the song that the country sensation turned into an even bigger hit in 2023. It was one of those perfect Grammy moments that, as just the second performance, was an early peak in the show, while Fast Car didn't win either Record or Song of the Year when it was nominated back in 89. Both lost to Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be Happy. Where is he now? Hey, Bobby McFerrin did a lot of amazing, inventive things in the world of a cappella singing. And we all love that song until we are sick of it. But then we got sick of it because it was number one on the charts. It got played constantly. Now you never hear it. But the love for that 59-year-old Chapman felt in the room from Taylor Swift, Oprah Winfrey, and Combs himself must have felt a lot like Sweet Victory in and of itself. What could have possibly been eliminated in all of that was the ridiculous memes that were then put on about Tracy Chapman singing with Combs and how, oh my gosh, this upsets all lesbians everywhere. This is so just, why would you even sing with a country singer? Get over that, really. So she is a lyricist, and believe it or not, if you have no idea about country music, if you never listened to it, the whole songwriting process is a big, big thing in country music. In fact, Nashville is a songwriter's city, and it's all about writing the song, writing something that will, yes, make money, but some people want to have other more artistic intentions when they get to Nashville. Well, if you're getting over here to the Bay Area, local wages and salaries for private industry workers increased a little over 3% from September of 2022 to September of 2023. This is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. What's interesting is it is, on average in the U.S. a whole 1% more. Local total compensation costs, wages, and benefits increased 3.3% over the year compared to the U.S. average of 4.3%. So the country doing much better than we are overall. Hey, lovely lady friend, I'm doing a podcast. Yes, here at Café Anyway. I'm outside right now.
You will travel into the incredible universe.
I need an umbrella, yes. I'm completely soaked. It's probably not a good idea that this microphone is soaked either, because it has electricity going through it. And it could be very shocking. Because we have watched on Midsummer Murder somebody get murdered by a microphone.
Holding court with Lady Katie.
We've been watching a lot of Miss Marple lately. What's her name? Gene Simmons? No, Joan
Dixon?
Joan Dixon.
Famagoo. Things to do.
British television, it doesn't matter how old you are, you're going to still get work. In America, once you reach a certain age, either you get a bunch of plastic surgery and don't look normal anymore, you look kind of like a Jim Henson puppet.
The Royal Trump Tweet Decree.
In England, they just keep working. And so what's fascinating is you see these actors when they started out in the 80s, and here and one of them, I was pointing out to my lovely lady friend, hey, that's the lady that plays the mom of Cary Grant in this new, it's on BritBox, I think. It's brand new. It's Archie. It's called Archie.
When you are a man, sometimes you wear stretchy pants.
And the lady that plays his mom, we saw last night when she was almost like just a teenager or 20-something-ish. So it's that you don't see that in American television.
Yeah.
No, nobody's allowed to age.
No.
It's terrible. There's a really funny, I think you can find it on YouTube. It's with Tina Fey, Amy Schumer, and Julie Louise
Julia
Louis-Dreyfus.
I got through that. I got into it.
Tongue twister. Mouth not working. It's because of the rain in my face. Oh, and Patricia Arquette. And they're all like making jokes about how Hollywood just basically kills you off when you reach a certain age.
They put you out to pasture.
It's terrible. In this,
especially if you're a woman.
In this skit, it's in Central Park, and they put they have like a boat that they're going to set on fire, and I think Julie Louis-Dreyfus is supposed to be in the boat when they set it on fire, like a Viking funeral.
This show is clean.
Did I just hear the Mr. Softy?
You did.
Oh no, Mr. Softy's down the street.
Pretty much.
You know who's here right now, lovely lady friend? Look, it says right here on my website. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing? I brought my horse down. It's a disgruntled fiddle player. Tell you what. What? Hey, lovely lady friend. I heard y'all went to a wedding the other day. That was like Kevin's wedding.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
This is Mike's Podcast Picnic. Mike's Cassette Copy Hole.
At least for me, you had met some of them before, but I had heard their names. And then to finally see them all in person, interact with them, it was so sweet.
Addenda with Kevin.
Lovely lady friend, I heard you could really cut up a rug right there.
Oh, well, that's all because of Mike here. He made me look good.
Aww.
He's being modest.
Thank you. Oh, you are an amazing dancer.
Mike is on it, man.
Go where no man has gone before.
We love it, Mike.
You two are making me sick. You remind me of me and Benita when we're out on the dance floor doing the square dancing. I like the square dance. Hey, that one song was like a square dance.
Yeah.
That one that said, that guy was, do you know? Well, there's that one called the Do the Cupid thing.
Yeah.
And then there's that one, that guy was just saying, hey, do the cha-cha.
Yeah.
Now, do the walk in place.
Yeah.
Now,
Stomp once.
Stomp once.
No, twice.
And I'm watching some of the people are following him.
Yeah.
The voice, this disembodied voice perfectly.
Band's mutations. Mutations.
Love.
Maybe that's a new thing when you do a job interview. If you're going to interview somebody, you put them through like a square dance thing. See how well they take instructions, direction.
You and I would do poorly. We would not get the job.
What? Did I pass? Well, being that you just sat there in the chair and didn't dance at all and do any of the things I was telling you to do, like stomp in place.
We tried. We did not give up.
Spin around or cha-cha.
Magnification.
Or turn to the left, to the right. Look who else is here. Hello, man. I can make delicious root beer. Have some right now. Oh, boy. Oh, that looks like great root beer, doesn't it, lovely lady friend?
Yeah.
We're not going to drink it.
Oh.
Drink it right now. I'll cut you. He said that so nicely. All right, we'll drink some. Love, I listened to the new Billy Joel song today.
How is it?
It's pretty good. He sounds just the same.
Okay.
Lots of piano in it. Yeah. It almost, for a second, I'm like,
for me.
I'm going to play it for you. It reminded me a little of Barry Manilow, although over the years, I never saw it, but I remember there was a coworker I had at this classic rock station, and she goes, Billy Joel's just basically Barry Manilow.
What?
Mixed with a little Neil Diamond.
What?
And I said, I don't think you're right. But in this song, I kind of heard it. It's called Turn the Lights Back On. Oh. Or did I leave the lights on, or something like that, which is something a guy at Billy Joel's age would probably ask. Did I leave the lights on? I'm going to use the clapper. Turn the lights off. I think he performed it at the Grammys. Well, that's the end of the show, lovely lady friend, because we got stuff to do.
Yes, we do.
At Café Anyway.
And food to be made and eaten.
Ooh, that's a good idea. And we have to get out of the rain.
Yes.
Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. If you would like to call in and comment about anything I covered today, here's the number.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
Do you think Billie Eilish, when she sings, she sings in a whisper? Or am I just over generalizing?
I don't know. I really haven't heard enough of her to opine.
I mean, you never hear her go, no, nothing like that.
Rocky, what do you think?
Meow. He doesn't
That's
talk.
what he said.
Someday he'll talk on the podcast like Basil does on every podcast. Okay, with more ways to contact Mr. Mike Matthews and all of us here at Café Anyway, here's A. Frank.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Did it record? And that was episode 2765 to catch all the past podcasts and see the podcast pictures from over the years. You can go to MikesDailyPodcast.com.